Whoa, I feel like I go live every month or so. Um, Actually, last time I went live, it was the day before I quit my job. So right now I do not have a job, but I'm learning, so consider that a job. Um, but today I want to talk about Patagonia, the clothing brand. I am a huge fan of Patagonia. It's quality stuff. It's usually sized to the way I like my stuff sized. Um, it's pretty expensive, but not everyone can afford Patagonia. My first Patagonia clothing material was bought off eBay. I forgot exactly what it was. I think it was just the classic sweater. Um, but yeah, I couldn't afford it in college. Couldn't afford Patagonia in college. But now I kind of realize that quality clothing is better than cheap stuff. So now, I justify purchasing Patagonia because I know that that jacket is going to last me a long time, and they really kind of market recycling and kind of fixing your clothing before throwing it away. So personally, I like Patagonia as a brand, as an item of clothing, as a product, really great product. Um, but today I want to talk about Patagonia and its announcement to donate or create two companies, a nonprofit and a trust. And basically, the company Patagonia sold itself to a nonprofit. So I'll go over that. I want to talk about, I guess, some LA City Council members are getting kind of the Donald Trump treatment. They are going into their houses to search for something. So there's some stuff about that. Newsom signs a social media bill sponsored by the classic characters, Blue Fascists, Bucky Wicks, and the homeboy Scott Weiner. We'll go over that while we're waiting for people to join. I usually don't go live so early. It's 3:40 p.m. But I have time and want to talk about the Patagonia stuff. But before we get on to that, more like more kind of fun and kind of conspiratorial, I want to go over September 24th, which is in a few days. Today's the 15th, so 9 days. This is trending. This is trending right now. So I don't know if you guys watch Donut, the channel. It's on Rockfin. He's on YouTube. I think it's a fun channel, to have as background. But he put out a video maybe last week that the homeboy Alex Jones we played earlier this week, and it's gotten a little bit of traction, but he's noticing some stuff. So let's go over this this clip. September 24th is apparently a important day in history. Let me try to expand. And I'll mute myself. Okay, so that's just like a clip of the video. Let me play this other one. And since there's no one really watching, I feel like with being so conspiracy right now, but it's just interesting. This is one that let's see. Okay, let's not get distracted. Oh, there's quite a lot of stuff I want to play. Hmm. I'm going to fast forward through a lot of this. So this is the crazy part. We saw in the donut video, he glances over this, but he's about to give us the translation. And I speak a little bit of German, and it seems right. Should probably translate it myself, but from my, elementary level German that I know, it seems like it's translated fairly well. All right. So I haven't gotten to the point where I have a bug out bag, but I have been trying to get stuff just in case if there's ever a power outage. I have stuff that I can, power some stuff with. I don't have any solar panels or anything like that, but I'm not preparing for September 24th at all. But, who knows? Um, but I do have things for power outage and food storage and stuff like that. Some water, just in case. And maybe I'll do a video about that shit someday. But just buying extra cans of stuff, rotating those out, consistently having some food. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna go over just some let's play this. Let's play this, and then we'll get into the Patagonia stuff. And this is the footage of the Queen's body going somewhere, I guess Buckingham Palace or something like that. But they've dubbed over the, pro England, pro West, where you don't live in a dictatorship with the commentary that was playing during Kim Jong Un's funeral procession, because whatever. So that's kind of funny. BBC. Well, it looks like they're going to be freezing this winter. Okay, let's just talk about Gavin Newsom. So he's writing a letter to DeSantis and Abbott about them sending buses of immigrants to Washington, D.C., Martha's Vineyard. Actually, this has to do another thing that I have here. But Gavin Newsom is so focused on these other people. He's putting out ads in other states about, abortion stuff. He's writing letters, and he can't there's so many homeless people in California. It's so sad. But anyways, he's saying that sending immigrants on a bus to Washington, D.C. is inhumane. But at the same time, the Democrats, his buddy Joe Biden, his aunt Nancy Pelosi is keeping kids in cages. So I don't know about you guys, but if I were an immigrant, I'd rather be in an air-conditioned bus on a very comfortable chair, reclining, I would assume, or a fucking school bus than a cage. So who's more inhumane? I'm not sure. Let's see what else. Yeah, this guy did something else that bothered me. It's about abortion too. Something about, anyways, it's about homeless women. He's doing something about making sure women have access to reproductive care, and I agree with that. They should, but there's thousands of women, homeless women in California that Newsom is responsible for that he doesn't really give a shit about. Woo. Whoa. This is some crazy stuff. Eric Chartwell, one of my earlier videos was about just how annoying he is. And he literally tweets like he's a high school kid. You know. But I think he does need to get investigated. No Democrats are ever investigated about really anything. I guess no one in power really is. Okay, so going back to the story is going back to the busing of immigrants to DC, Martha's Vineyard. Martha's Vineyard homeless shelter coordinator, this is from the Gateway Pundit, obviously, as you can see, melts down over illegals flown to the island. They have to move here. They have to move here from here to somewhere else. Let's watch the video. Where's the video? Here we go. He's a human. Anyways, so the homeless shelter coordinator, the Martha's Vineyard Island, um, saying that they can't house immigrants. But who's homeless on Martha's Vineyard? It's like if you don't have multiple homes, that's the shelter you go to, I'm sure. You know, the wealthies, the Obamas, Oprah has a house here. You know, there's plenty of resources if they're paying taxes. Um, there's millionaires on this island. Why can't they fund a homeless shelter there? They don't want them there. They don't want tents there. Although these immigrants aren't going to be sleeping in tents unless it's like the country forces them to. Um, it's kind of like this lady, she's homeless shelter coordinator on Martha's Vineyard. We just don't want to help them here. We want to help them do it, but not here. Not when there's millionaires like going on Sunday morning jogs. The millionaires that own that hire illegals, like they need to go to the factories in the fields where they can go hire them illegally. You can't let them sleep here illegally. She's like contributing to their treatment. Okay. Anyways, so there's somebody watching that hasn't even dropped a like. You haven't even sent a chat. I just want to make sure that you do your part to support the people of Ukraine, stand with Ukraine. They need more of our money. They need our money more than the homeless people at Martha's Vineyard, all of the immigrants that just were sent to Martha's Vineyard. Ukraine needs the money more. All right, so let's go started with, I don't want to stand with Ukraine. this story about the founder of Patagonia. This is a page, this is an Instagram page, nonprofit. Shitlibs love it. I follow it too. They do have some good information sometimes, but very shitlib friendly organization. I saw this exclusive Yvonne Chouinard, I think that's how you spell it, Chouinard, who founded the outdoor apparel maker Patagonia and became a reluctant billionaire with his unconventional spin on capitalism, has given away the company. All Patagonia's profit will now be used to fight climate change. Hell yeah. The Succession screenshot is killing me. Oh my god, I hope he redistributes the money to environmental justice organizations like y'all. That is fantastic. This is really putting your money where your mouth is. In a move with no precedent in the business world, Chouinard, along with his family, have forfeited all their shares in Patagonia, a company valued at about $3 billion, renouncing their status as one of the wealthiest families in the US. Hopefully, this will influence a new form of capitalism that doesn't end up with a few rich people and a bunch of poor people, Yvonne told me. We are going to give away the maximum amount of money to people who are actively working on saving this planet. Now, again, like I started saying at the beginning of the stream when I talked about what I was going to talk about, I have nothing against Patagonia. They make great clothes. From what I see, they pay the factories and everyone that sources the resources to make the clothes a fair wage compared to Western standards. But it just seems very odd that a billionaire, a guy, let's start here. This guy founds a company called Patagonia and becomes a billionaire. There's another billionaire I know who founded a company of a place in South America. His name's Jeff Bezos, and he founded Amazon. I just find that's kind of strange. Strange coincidence. Nothing conspiratorial about it, but it just is a strange coincidence that two people, two capitalists, fund companies, both called something a place in South America. Besides the point, it just seems weird to be giving away your fortune. So let's go here. So this is the Zero Waste Chef. But we have people like praising him. And notice what he says. Notice his quote. Hopefully this will influence a new form of capitalism. A new form of capitalism, he says. So we have like this lady, other people in like the sunrise movement sphere, kind of praising this guy, this literal billionaire Yvonne. He's worth $1.2 billion as of 9/14 of this year. So as of yesterday, he's worth $1.2 billion. Patagonia. is worth $3 billion. Yvonne, founder of the outdoor clothing gear retailer Patagonia, gave all the stock in the company to a trust and a nonprofit in September. Chouinard spelled out the ownership transfer in an open letter on Patagonia's website. The nonprofit Holdfast is dedicated to fighting environmental crises, defending nature. His apparel business took off in the 1970s when he imported rugby shirts from England and sold them to climbers. Since 1985, Patagonia set aside 1% of sales to finance grassroots environmental groups in the US and abroad. Revenue hit 800 million in 2017. In May, launched. Okay. Self-made millionaire, 83 years old, residing in Ventura. Do you know that Patagonia ran a full-page ad in the New York Times encouraging customers not to buy its products? So like as a business, as a business, this sounds all cool. But in reality, okay, let's look a little bit more. It's not a sale or IPO. In reality, what I'm trying to say is that the owner of Patagonia is saying, I'm gonna give away all the shares. I own most of the shares of Patagonia, making me a billionaire. So I'm gonna donate all those shares that make me a billionaire to a nonprofit that I create and a trust that manages that money, which to me is tax evasion. So this guy is a capitalist. Nobody becomes a billionaire without exploiting somebody or something. In this case, in my opinion, I am no tax expert, but he created a nonprofit and a trust to transfer his wealth into these places so he doesn't have to pay taxes. That's what I get out of this move. Now, the shitlobes, the Sunrise Movement type people, Business Insider, the professional working class that can afford Patagonia, and like I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, I have Patagonia. Most of my Patagonia stuff has been bought secondhand. There's some things I've gotten that aren't secondhand. As Patagonia has become a more popular brand, its quality has gone down on a lot of things. But there are some things that I purchase new because I know that I'm going to wear them consistently. And I justify the price because I wear things. If I open that closet, I'm not going to open them right now. But if I open that closet, half of that closet isn't full of stuff. I wear the same 20 t-shirts every single day. I have 3 pairs of pants that I rotate. I have 2 shorts that I rotate. I don't own a lot of clothing. I have one Patagonia vest, one jacket. I do wear Patagonia, but anyways, it's not about the brand. This whole thing isn't about the clothing and the quality of the product there. I agree, they have great stuff. But what I'm trying to say is that Homeboy talks about a new type of capitalism. Okay, let's read the details. Then we'll go to the Patagonia website. Okay, let's go. What does this say? The title of this website here, Reimagining Capitalism. Earth now is our only shareholder. If we have any hope of a thriving planet, much less a business, it is going to take all of us doing what we do, doing what we can with the resources we have. This is what we can do. So this is his letter. I never wanted to be a businessman. I started as a craftsman making climbing gear for my friends and myself, then got into apparel. As we began to witness the extent of global warming and ecological destruction and our own contribution to it, Patagonia committed to using our company to change the way business was done. If we could do the right thing while making enough to pay the bills, we can influence um, customers and other businesses. Well, this guy's worth $1 billion, so Patagonia is a $3 billion company, so I think they've done it pretty well. We can influence customers and other businesses and maybe change the system along the way. We started with our products using materials that cause less harm to the environment. We gave away 1% of sales each year. We became a certified B Corporation and a California Benefit Corporation. If you look into these things, there's not, I mean, anyone can be a B Corp. You have to donate 1% of your sales to a nonprofit, and it can be your own nonprofit if you want to. So these are kind of like scam buzzwordy things. It's capitalism, it's greenwashing capitalism, these things. Writing our values into a corporate charter so they would be preserved. Recently, in 2018, we changed the company's purpose to "We're in business to save our own planet." I think that's called socialism, buddy. While we're doing our best to address the environmental crisis, that's not enough. We need to find a way to put more money into fighting the crisis, like keeping the company's values intact. One opinion was to sell Patagonia and donate all that money. I wasn't going to do that because I would have gotten taxed for that. We wouldn't be sure a new owner would maintain our values or keep our team of people around the world employed. Another path was to take the company public. What a disaster that would have been. Even public companies with good intentions are under too much pressure to create short-term gain at the expense of long-term viability and responsibility. Truth be told, there were no good options available, so we created our own. Instead of going public, you can say we're going purpose. Instead of extracting value from nature and transferring it into wealth for investors, we'll use the wealth Patagonia creates to protect the source of all wealth. Here's how it works. 100% of the company's voting stock transfers to the Patagonia Purpose Trust, created to protect the company's values, and 100% of the non-voting stock had been given to the Holdfast Collective, a nonprofit dedicated to fighting the environmental crisis and defending nature. The funding will come from Patagonia. Each year, the money we make after reinvesting in the business will be distributed as a dividend to help fight the crisis. It's been nearly 50 years since we began our experiment in responsible business, and we are just getting started. If we have any hope of a thriving planet, much less a thriving business 50 years from now, it's going to take all of us doing what we can with the resources we have. This is another way we found to do our part. Despite its immensity, the Earth's resources are not infinite, and it's clear we're exceeded its limits. But it's so resilient. We can save our planet if we commit to doing it. So here's some of the Patagonia's new owners are the Holdfast Collective and the Patagonia Purpose Trust. The Holdfast Collective owns 98% of the company and all of its non-voting stock. The Patagonia Purpose Trust owns 2% of the company and all of the voting stock. Non-voting stock carries economic value, but not decision-making authority. The voting stock has both economic value and decision-making authority. Holdfast Collective for short, will use every dollar received to fight the environmental crisis, protect nature and biodiversity, and support thriving communities as quickly as possible. As a 401c4, not for profit organization, the collective can advocate for causes and political candidates in addition to making grants and investments in our planet. So I think 501c4 is the same thing that the People's Party is like registered underneath, if I'm not mistaken. So basically, we can give our money to whoever we want. Funding for the collective will come from Patagonia. Each year, excess profits, money we make after we invest into the business, including money we want to save for unseen events like a pandemic, will be distributed as a dividend to the collective to be used for its work. So basically, Patagonia, this is what I get out of this so far. Let's explain what the Patagonia Trust is. The Patagonia Purpose Trust was created solely to protect our company's values and mission. It owns all of the voting stock of the company, which gives it the right to approve key company decisions like who sits on the board of directors and what changes can be made to the company's legal charter, including its reason for being and B Corp commitments. Put another way, Patagonia's purpose is we're in business to save our own planet. The Patagonia Purpose Trust ensures the company's commitment to its purpose forever. Does this? No. Patagonia continues for-profit business as certified B Corp and California Benefit Corporation, making the best quality products and honoring its obligation to preserve the financial health of the company while always considering the impact our business has on its employees, blah, 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 blah. Who runs? Okay, so yes. So the family is responsible for the business still. Will Patagonia just max out sales so it can give away more money each year? No, this is not an excuse to ignore the real intention. The real tension we'll continue to face between growth and the environmental impact of our operations. But the new ownership structure provides a way to put the value that comes with responsible growth to work fighting the climate crisis. Patagonia is 50 years into an experiment and plans to stay in business operating profitably in line with our values for the next 50 years and beyond. So basically what I get out of this is a tax evasion scheme. Just think about this, Addie. All the shitlibs are saying, "Oh my God, he's donating his money to fund nonprofits." It tells you right here on the website that Patagonia is only going to be investing its excess profits into this nonprofit that they make. After reinvesting in the business, including money like in quotations here or in parentheses, including money we want to save for unseen events like a pandemic. So basically what this is telling me is that we're going to continue to be a for-profit business, but technically a nonprofit owns the company. So we can't get taxed for that. We don't have to pay taxes. and we're only going to invest what we say we want to a nonprofit instead of paying the taxes that they would need to pay for being the corporate taxes they would need to pay of just like continuing to be the business that they are. They already donate 1% of its profits. Basically, instead of donating 1% of our sales, like it says under our B Corp, uh, you know, charter, we're gonna throw a couple bones into our own nonprofit. We'll decide what those bones are, and we won't have to be taxed on any of this. So we can continue to grow the company's value. We'll only have to pay our nonprofit that owns the company whatever we say, whatever the operation, the CEO of Patagonia says that we can throw in there. So 1% of sales plus any bones. The family owns all of the voting stock. They can say, we don't want to do that anymore. We want to donate all of the bones to Joe Biden's campaign this year, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's tax evasion, guys. That's it. That's what, obviously, we need to like see what happens over the next year. You know, we should look at this Holdfast Collective and the Patagonia Trust and, you know, see what's really going on. But in my mind, Patagonia is trying to evade taxes, paying taxes. And I just find it super interesting for unseen events like a pandemic. Let's say that there is a global recession that occurs over the next year, over the next several years. The Patagonia says, actually, we want to save all of our profits, then they're not going to donate anything and they don't have to pay taxes because they are a nonprofit themselves. They're owned by a nonprofit. So hopefully you can tell anyone who's like very excited about this that Patagonia is trying to evade taxes. A $3 billion company is trying to avoid taxes, but is being sold as they're doing a really great thing by donating to nonprofits, a nonprofit that they own that could redonate money to other nonprofits that they choose, or political candidates. Gives away company. He gives away the company to his own nonprofit. Okay, so kind of going into that, it's not about Patagonia anymore, but it kind of ties into the type of shit libs that are going crazy about this stuff. We're getting kind of coached on what to talk about in their TikTok videos and things like that. So this is just one brown girl green. She's like a green person. Look, she has a marketing agency that represents her, that represents other people like her. She was at the White House the other day, along with other people, getting talking points on what to tell the youth, the people like the Sunrise Kids, other shit libs, like the benefits of the bill. And I messaged this girl. I was like, "Why don't you talk about the 80? Like, what is Joe Biden going to do with the 87,000 IRS agents that he just hired that are armed?" I didn't get a reply from her. Sometimes she replies back to things that I say. But I was invited by the White House to learn more about the Inflation Reduction Act, the biggest piece of legislation right now, resulting in 790 billion to address issues like climate change, healthcare, infrastructure, etc. Here are some reactions to that experience. Type through. I'm going to be putting out tons more content about this. But for now, I just wanted to say things that impressed me about getting this passed, even though it's obviously a bare minimum and so much more work due to BIPOC buzzword communities is blah blah blah. 9 million jobs, particularly to build the infrastructure needed for more renewable energy, farming, forestry, and even things I nerd out like landscape architecture, removing toxic lead pipes, energy savings, lowering costs for prescription drugs, taxes. He's serious. All of these are content creators getting. Does this girl have? Okay, look, talking about the Patagonia guy. Okay, just like kind of interesting to see like what's going on and how these guys influencers are being like told what to say. Let's see, DC. Propagandizers. Oh, like look, Sunrise Movement again. They went to the same event. Some of them got to go talk in person behind the closed doors with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris on what exactly they're going to be spreading as far as like the benefits of this bill. Who's another person that I saw this like shitlib here? Joe. She was there at the same event, getting propagandized, getting her talking points. Um, so here we go. All these influencers getting their talking points. The President Joe Biden acknowledging, you guys all have thousands of followers. Like, we're going to tell you exactly what to tell them so they don't question what we're doing. Just found that very interesting to show and to see from the inside, because these are the people that the next generation of kids who aren't awake yet are listening and taking like, oh, they have our best. I trust this person because of the content they do, and the graphics that they use and the buzzwords that they use. So when they're telling me that the White House is doing their best and that Democrats are doing their best and Congress is doing their best, I'm going to say, yes, master. Yes, you guys are. Man, I've been going a little bit longer than I really wanted to. So I might stream later this story about, well, let's just play it really quickly. Really dangerous moment in Los Angeles that we should all be paying attention to. After lengthy investigations into sheriff gangs, which have a long history of violence and corruption, the sheriffs have searched the homes of the people charged with overseeing them. So the sheriffs, they do have a warrant from what I've read. Public Corruption Unit. The detectives took a computer, flash drives, and an official police tow. Just showed up to take her car. So there's some council members that are investigating the sheriffs, LA County sheriffs. They have, well, let's look at this. Anyways, so it looks like the sheriff's department are trying to do intimidate the people investigating the LA sheriff gangs. And there's no, like the lady was saying, there's no FBI, there's no Department of Justice is here. It's just the sheriffs. So like, if it was a corruption case, the feds would be involved. Interesting. Okay, so I was going to do a story about Gavin Newsom's social media bill, but I'm going to save that one for a different day. I've been doing this stream for about an hour. That's what I allotted for this. But thank you for watching. The couple people that did, really wish you would have dropped a comment. But if you are rewatching this and you like the content, like, share, subscribe to the broadcast. I'm being shadow banned. I'm being shadow banned, guys. Help me out here. Share it. You can also follow me on Twitter. And as always, remember to free Palestine and take it easy. Good luck. Bye.